Task 1. Solving systems of linear equations by graphing. A system of equations is two or more equations with the same variables. In order to solve a linear system of equations, you can graph the lines to find where they intersect. So we want to, in this task, find where two lines cross. So how do you graph a line? You need two things. The first is the slope of the line, and the second is the y-intercept. You can find those two things in the slope-intercept form of the equation of a line. That's usually the one most people remember. It's y equals mx plus b, where m is your slope and b is your y-intercept. So let's look at a line. Let's graph y equals 2/3 x minus 4. When I look at that equation, my slope is 2/3, and the y-intercept is -4. I'm going to bring that negative that comes, the minus sign that comes before the 4, with it. First, you're going to plot your y-intercept. So I'm going to go down to my graph. And I'm going to plot a point at -4. 1, 2. Okay. The second thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use my slope of 2/3 to find more points on the line. Remember that slope is rise over run. So the top number tells us how far up to go. The bottom number tells us how far to the left or right we go. Also remember that lines with positive slopes go up to the right, and lines with negative slopes go down to the right. Up to the right for positive slope, down to the right for negative slope. So we plotted our point at our y-intercept at -4. Now I'm going to use my slope of 2/3. I'm going to count up 2 units and over 3 units. I'm going to plot another point. Up 2, over 3. I'm going to go in the opposite direction as well, because I really don't know where this, when I graph a second line, I really don't know where the lines are going to intersect. So I'm going to fill my graph. So there's that line. Now let's add on another equation. So let's solve this system. So if you notice the top equation, y equals 2/3 x minus 4, we just got done graphing that. So I'm going to go ahead and plot my y-intercept at -4. And I'm going to go up 2 units and over 3, up 2 units over 3. And I'm going to go back down 2 units and to the left 3. And there's that line. My second equation, y equals -4/3 x plus 2, has a y-intercept at 2. And it has a slope of -4/3, which means I'm going to go down and to the right with that slope. So I'm going to go down 4 units and to the right 3 units. And look, there's the point where those two lines intersect. The last thing I want you to do are find the coordinates of that point. The coordinates of that point will be 3, -2. These two lines intersect at the point 3, -2. Let's try one more example. This time, we're going to have to do a little bit of work before we can actually graph. With the first one, I need to put this equation in slope-intercept form. So I need to do some algebra first. I have to move my x over, so I'm going to subtract x from both sides. And I'm going to divide by -2 because I got to get that y by itself, so then I have y equals mx plus b form. So -x divided by -2, I'm going to write that as 1/2 x. Negative divided by negative makes it positive, and 0 divided by anything is just 0. So this line has a y-intercept of 0 and a slope of 1/2. So I'm going to start right in the middle of my graph at 0, 0. I'm going to go up 1 and over 2. I'm going to do that a few times, up 1 over 2. I'm going to go in the opposite direction, down 1 and over 2 to the left. I have to do some more work on the second equation as well. I need to move my x over on this equation as well to get my slope-intercept form. And I have y equals -x plus 6. So I'm going to go up to 6 on the y-axis. And my slope is -1. That means my rise and run are both 1. I have to go in the negative direction, find where those two lines intersect, and there's that point where they touch. And so what are the coordinates of that point? The x-coordinate is 4, and the y-coordinate is 2. These two lines intersect at 4, 2. That's the end of task 1. Try this on the worksheet for task 1 now.